and welcome back to our Love Connection episodes, weekly episodes that we are coming here and share some love and relationship tips. And it's me, Irina Portnova, here with Coach Elle. And Elle, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking, Irina. Everything's great.
Yay! Absolutely. So let's just dive in into our topic, the impact of past relationships on present love. How our past relationships affect us in a way how we carry the current relationship and what can we do about it?
uh, that's a great question. That comes up every time I work with my clients because it becomes our pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So, past relationship, it can be anything that has happened during the childhood interactions. And it's interesting. I had a client and we were talking about what is it that with this relationship comes up for him, and it's reminded him of his mother and his ex-wife. And so we went through, what was the questions, what was it, that incident, what I mean, we went deep. And it was interesting, as soon as he found out that every time that his reaction is based on those past experiences, not based on this new relationship, his eyes like opened up. And I said, okay, so every time that you're having a conversation with this new person, make sure that you're not comparing or you're not in that past experience. Because if you're in that past experience, then the answer, the interaction would be from that negative part of you who experienced those negative patterns from the past. So we all have to be very conscious in the moment. The consciousness is very important in any kind of interaction, because if we answer the question of the whoever is asking us a question, or this interaction goes to a negative place, the first thing I ask myself, am I in my past experience or am I here now? And then sometimes it takes me like, let me think about it and answer you, because that's the time when you really bring yourself to present moment, and then you can answer.
Mm-hmm. I
I people
love it.
I invite people to really, really ask themselves the question. And the exercises, I can talk about that later on, that I can share, is really brings you back to the present moment. Because if you do that on a daily basis, then your unconscious becomes more conscious as you do it on a daily basis. So we can talk about that later. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great, great question. And um, a lot of people are in that past experience instead of being present to the moment.
Mm-hmm. You know what? When you're sharing, and I think it's a pattern for a lot of men, because a lot of men are looking into their wives as their mothers, in terms of like they are looking for the same traits, even the physical features of their moms. I think this is something that is already in the nature, and a lot of times it might not serve them well, right, if they had like anything negative coming from their childhood. But let's talk. Yes, okay, our childhood experience obviously has some impact, but let's talk about the relationship themselves. When we are moving from one relationship to another, what do we usually carry? Like, we usually carry some kind of baggage, right? Because there
Yeah.
was a reason for us to end that relationship, whether our partner ended it first or it came from us. But something really didn't work. That's why we are not in that relationship anymore. And as we move forward and we move to a new relationship, it's very important to take your time to have the healing and understand why that relationship didn't work. Because Otherwise, if people are jumping right away into the new experience, just kind of just put the patch on their wound, right? Not
Yeah,
have
it's not
healing
gonna.
wound, and the things start repeating themselves. So that vicious cycle goes again and again and again. And the idea is that then everything kind of just awakens. Okay. And people start like having these fears because they remember the past experience, the past trauma, whatever they were experiences with their partners before. And they carry that, all these past negative memories, they carry it over into the new relationship, which that new relationship has nothing to do with what happened in the past. What do you think
Yeah.
about it, Al?
Yes, but there is one thing that I invite them to look at. Look at the past relationship. Do you see any patterns, any similarities in whoever you bring to your life? Do you look at the past experience? Oh, he or she had 90%, 98%, 99% was his fault or her fault. But for one time, let's look at what was that 1% on your side. Usually, that 1% solves all the problems. When you look and see what was what was your side that you put into that interaction that was not correct, and it all comes from your own past experiences, then when you know what it is and you become conscious about it, so your new experience, you question yourself. I can give you me as the as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So my past experience was, is long story short, my primary caregiver left when I was 6 years old, and my thinking is whoever I love will leave me. That was my limiting belief. That's it's has been there and probably will be there for the rest of my life. But then how conscious I am to really ask myself, what am I doing in this interaction? So in my old interactions, I would do anything and everything to keep that relationship and putting myself outside. I mean, not paying attention to myself and my own needs at all.
Mm-hmm.
So then of course this is not going to work because I'm not even knowing what I want in a relationship, not knowing what to say and ask and interact. So the other person wouldn't know what my needs are because I would ignore it totally. I would always concentrate on the other person's needs,
Mm-hmm.
not just in the intimate relationship, but any kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So because that was my pattern. So now every time I'm interacting in a intimate, in a even with my siblings, even with I mean, anybody, I ask myself a question: do I want to do this? Is it
Mm-hmm.
okay for me? Do I feel good to do it? And if it's not, then I just say, you know what, today I don't feel like doing this. Can we do this later? Or can we, any kind of other than that? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually giving my power back to myself
Mm-hmm.
because in the past, I gave the power to the other person. Never ever was in I mean, as I didn't exist basically. My
Mm-hmm.
needs and my wants and my emotions was ignored. I did that.
Yeah, you did it to yourself.
I
Exactly.
did it to
Because
myself.
there was nobody to teach us how to do this, right? Because for me also was like these personal boundaries was something that like I allow others to cross when I was in my younger age, right? And it was like also that repetitive pattern where I was very forgiven, and people knew that they can do things and then they come back and I would accept them. So I didn't have the strong boundaries. And we all come with some kind of flaws, right? so
It's
we can
just,
work on them. We can
yeah,
work on them and become better, because we are here all to grow and evolve. And that's part of something that we have to learn. Those are the lessons for us to learn. Not to say that we were bad or good. It's just, let's keep it neutral. But in terms of like observing and looking at the situation and say, hey, how would I act differently if I had the awareness, right? So now we are talking about how important it is to have the awareness, because once you understand things from a different angle, you can actually completely uplevel your life.
yeah. So it's the assumptions that we make about ourselves based on our past experiences. And if you look at that and remedy that and really understand who we are today, and
Mm-hmm.
know our values and know, how good we are. I mean, nobody's perfect, but then in the way that we are perfect for ourselves, and we can
Mm-hmm.
able to really put those boundaries if there's something not, that we don't want to do at that moment or never or whatever, and it's okay. Be okay with that. Then you can have that interaction that is loving by putting those healthy boundaries with people that you love and you interact at work, at home, anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
totally agree with you. And let's just talk a little bit about the tools, right? So,
okay.
first is reflect and journal, right? What's going on? Because obviously, as we mentioned, it's good to heal after your prior relationship before you enter into the new one, and have a list of things what you really want to have in your partner, and know that you do have to match that, right? You cannot expect the person to like to be loyal and communicative if you are not, right? So everything has to be matched. And then once you have the list, what exactly do I want from my new partner? And you know that you healed and now you're ready to explore the new relationship. Now is the good time to really understand what are things that were the baggage that I'm not going to carry into this new relationship. For instance, if in the past you had, like the person who was disrespecting you, knowing that going into the new relationship, you do not have to have that fear, because if we bring that fear with us, sooner or later that fear is going to materialize, right? Each time
Yeah.
when you go into the new relationship, do not think of anything what happened in the past, but rather, like, like as you would read the new book, same thing, you're just opening new chapter of your life. Let's start it fresh, let's start it clean. And that's why I love this life, because every day you can start fresh and clean, right? And that's very important, right? That's very important, just to know that. So your present love is not going to echo something from your past, right? And then obviously, if you start seeing some patterns and traits, then the best way it is to address them right away and sit down and say, look, this is something I was going through in my past relationship, and this is something I do not want to experience. Can we agree on that? For instance, you're not going to raise voice at me, right? If you're going to continue raising your voice at me, I think we are not going to stay anymore together, right?
This is a
So
deal breaker for me. That's it.
exactly. Exactly. Just, like people have to know, if they want to be in the partnership, there is always some kind of commitment, there is some kind of agreement, and there is something that, people do not just act the way as they please, but they always become caring towards their partner if they truly love them.
Yeah. So understand that your energy has to change also. It's not just becoming conscious, it's, yeah, super important. But then if your energy is still in that negative part of the past, then you will attract those people from the past. So really
Hmm.
work on that belief system, that energy that you also putting out there. Uh,
Hmm.
Try to really meditate, as you said, just journal and bring those negative energies that are still part of you out, and it's a sometimes it's a everyday work for a while to get to that place of knowing yourself, understanding who you are, and accepting yourself
Mhm.
and loving yourself with from all the flaws, anything that you have had in the past and the present, and just
Mhm.
be comfortable with who you are and be able to, as you said, just say, this, if you're going to raise the voice at me, this is my deal breaker. It's not going to work. And you can say it so simply from your heart, and they will know. The, the,
Mhm.
the, the, the way that you speak is very important for yourself and for the other person, because that energy comes from your voice to the other person.
Yes. So we talk about journaling, we talk about importance of communication, important to have the agreement, what's non-negotiable, what is the deal breaker, what are the tools? I would say, like every week, do talk to each other in terms of like what went great, praise each other, compliment each other, and also talk about what would you love to see that works differently. It's very important.
Yeah, exactly. And then, as a personal note, that's what to become conscious. Have those alarms on your phone, and a couple of times a day, ask yourself, how do you feel, and what do you need? Because
I love that.
yeah, it becomes that. Then you go inside, give yourself at least 2 minutes, 1 minute, as what a much of time you have, and just put your hand on your chest and say, well, what do you feel? I feel happy, I feel sad, whatever it is. Sit with that feeling, and it's okay to be sad. It's okay to
Mhm.
feel negative. And then, what do you need? Maybe that part of you that is sad at that moment needs a hug,
Mhm.
needs needs a glass of, I don't know, coffee, tea, anything that will soothe, or soup, or whatever
Bubble
that's
bath,
bubble bath. Yes,
massage.
massage, anything, or go for a walk. I mean, that's me. When
Yes.
I'm in that, the other day, I came home. I was at the library. Came back home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, so much going on in my head all day, and I needed a break. So I gave
Mhm.
myself a break. I went for a walk for 10 minutes, came back, was, energized because I gave myself that break. So ask yourself, what do you need? And give
Mhm.
yourself that need. And it becomes apparent because people around you will watch you, will see it, will get that energy that you actually really in tune with who you are. And
Mhm.
they also follow that with you.
Absolutely. Yes. So let's just wrap it up saying that there is an impact of past relationship on present love. So for us not to carry that baggage, we have to be more mindful, we have to be more thoughtful, and really check in with ourselves from time to time to understand that we are not dragging something that's supposed to be left, with the locked door. And I just wanted to make two announcements. First announcement that we are going to resume our lives after New Year 2025, because it's a busy time for both of us right now. And we appreciate and love that you're coming and you're participating with us. And just wanted to say that also, I'm running the summit. It's called,
Yes,
yes, and Alice is a speaker in
I'm
that
gonna be
summit. So we are obviously going to see you more during our time where we go online and just speak about what this is all about. But the topic is experience love again after divorce. And whoever is listening, if this relevant to you, come and register. This is the link, and I also posted that link in the comments. So it's lifepalette.net/love, and register and give yourself that gift. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. and it's for 2 weeks. It's pre-recorded. You will have the time to watch the experts, 2 experts per day, for 24 hours. It's only 1 hour a day. It's great because not too much commitment, and you can just consume the information. And Elle, do you have anything else to add?
No, I just wanted to say that we're always here. You have our
Mm-hmm.
emails, and you can either
Yes.
email us to comment on these live posts that we have on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, all over the place. So if you have any questions,
Mm-hmm.
private message us, and we're always here to answer any questions that you have. We have enjoyed being on this platform, interacting with you for the past, I don't know, 10, 11 months. So be happy to see you again next year, and
Yes.
see you in the Irina Summit in next.
Yes. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.